Hello Cancer, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, here to do your weekly read for the 24th to the 30th of September. Welcome on board. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you to all returning people. Thank you for your comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you on board. I'm really enjoying this journey. I'm so grateful that I started up the channel. I had no idea it was going to be so superb. Anyway, if my readings don't resonate with you, that's fine. Please move on to another reader. If they do resonate with you, that's fantastic. You can also, if you want to, check out other aspects of your chart, your natal chart, such as your moon, rising or ascendant, and your Venus, because sometimes they resonate as well. Sometimes you can take a little bit from everything. Cards I'm using today are the Julia Marsaglia After Tarot. What else? If you need to know anything more about me, it's in the box underneath. And your monthly videos are up for you to view. Cancer. Boo. Energy for the week. Ten of Swords. So, okay, I like to look at the positives here. It is the end of a cycle for you. It could have been that you've been through betrayal recently. Someone's let you down. Someone's backstabbed you. This could be work, love, whatever. In the Rider-Waite, this man's got the knives all stuck in his back, but being this is the After Tarot, they have been removed now, so he's ready to move on to the next cycle. I love that he's still hanging on to one sword, so he's ready for the Ace of Swords now, which is really nice. He's learnt his lessons, basically, is what this card's saying, and he's ready to take the next leap of faith. So that's what's up for you for the week. So let's see what's happening to Cancers this week. Okay, your first card out is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups talks about returning to the past. It talks about nostalgia and reminiscing. It can talk about you going back to childhood and having a look at what happened in childhood. And it can also be about children. Not quite sure what this relates to yet, but we'll get there. It's a beautiful card. I like the Six of Cups. You know, it may have a bit of a negative connotation, and sometimes it means you're going to revisit the past, or the past is coming to visit you, but we'll see. Okay, then we have the Six of Swords. So for me, this is you moving away from the past. So I'm not quite sure what that means yet. You could be moving away from a relationship that you've had for a long time because you don't want to deal with it anymore and you want to move forward. It could be that you've perhaps been doing a lot of work on your inner child, and now you feel like you've sort of got through the trauma and you've worked, you know, a lot on yourself and you're ready to move forward. It certainly looks like to me you're moving away from something in the past. It could be that you've been doing a lot of reminiscing. It could be that maybe you've been feeling depressed too, looking back at the past. But whatever it is now, you're sailing into calmer waters. I like that. Okay, and then we have the Tower. So this is quite interesting because the Tower talks about, you know, breaking down of old structures, and I talked about childhood trauma in these two cards. So for some of you, might have been working on something from your childhood, inner child stuff, inner child work, childhood trauma, because too in this card it shows a child walking away in the boat too. So it's almost like you've brought your inner child to safety. So I feel like for some of you, you may have been doing some inner child work. It could be that you're moving your family to safety from the past. So it could have been something happened to your family and you've been forced to move them somewhere else, maybe out of a childhood home. But you're definitely moving them onto dry ground as well. With the Tower here, it looks like then comes this idea that you have to restart because what you built in the past was not sturdy. It wasn't safe. So this life you have built, and it could be the life you've built since you had, this is quite interesting actually. It could be that you built a lot of your fears, worries, thoughts, ideas on stuff you learned in childhood. And now as an adult, you're finding that's not serving you. So you're trying to break down what you learned in childhood to move forward by healing your inner child. Now that's deep, guys, okay, but I can feel that one. Because for me, there's like almost like a rebirth here from this. It's like you've left behind the ideas you learned as a child to become an adult, and now you're breaking down. It's like you've got a self-imposed tower. It's like you have brought in this tower moment to be able to go through this. Oh, very interesting. Okay, and then we have the Lovers after that. So maybe the universe has been leading you to do this because it wants to move you on to a relationship, but you haven't been ready. You've had a lot of inner work to do before you could move on. And you've had to go through this process to understand what's ahead for you in the Lovers. Wow. Whew. Okay, yeah. They want to bring true love in for you, Cancer. They want to bring true love in for you. But in order to do that, you've got to heal. Because what happens in life is we pick partners and we're not really supposed to. People go, oh, it's free will to pick your own partner, which is great. Of course it is. But actually, the universe knows what's best for us. And maybe, you know, somewhere along the way, you've ended up in a relationship that didn't serve you. And it could be now that you've understood that the reason the relationship wasn't good for you or right for you was because you were trying to meet this relationship from your inner child perspective, which means things like, you know, maybe you weren't able to cope when things went wrong, you know, fights and arguments. Maybe you just went inside yourself because you'd never been taught to how to deal with arguing in a relationship. You know, maybe you had parents that fought all the time, and because of that you didn't understand what it took to have a relationship with someone because you never saw that reconciled. So whatever this is here, the universe has taken away all of those things from you, or helped you or walked you through a process to free yourself of all those traumas, because now you're walking towards true love, and this is the person the universe has like selected for you. This is being divinely guided. There's still a lot of like mental conflict here for you though. So this is not a process that you're completely free from. Although this is happening, it's like you still have a lot to learn here. But I feel like the rest of your healing here will be done with your partner. There's a period here of taking time out to really get to understand this. So I think it's been quite an exhausting process. You know it's on the way. I can feel that you know it is. It's almost like you understand this has been promised to you. But I feel like in this card, what they're saying is you need to take time out to heal from the process and the tower. They want to bring it in, but you're still a lot in your head. There's still conflict here. And they want you to be free from that when you're ready. So to bringing you up to your higher vibration. This could be the person you're heading for too. So Cancer, you could be on your way to an air sign. So that's a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. They may be bringing you to this person now. So this could be male or female. Now the air signs are, I mean, the King of Swords is gorgeous. Look, his sword is in the ground. He's not ready for battle at all. He's quite comfortable with it sitting there. The air signs are, this particular level of air sign in the King is one where he is really in control of his thoughts. He's very clear, has a lot of mental clarities. You know, sometimes people give him a raw deal and talk about him being manipulative and narcissistic, but actually I don't get that feeling from this card at all. So if the card is in reverse, sometimes it seems to come up that way, but if it's not, I would still get the energy if this was a manipulative person, and it's not. It's a person who's very, very comfortable with their thoughts, feelings and ideas. Very comfortable, very in charge of themselves. It could be someone who's a lawyer, doctor, surgeon, position of power with the sword. Someone who has the ability to cut out, cut with, whatever. Okay, so then we have this Seven of Swords energy. Now, the thing is, again, this card gets a bit of a raw deal because people always say it's the sneaky card, but I don't always believe it's sneaky in terms of someone doing the wrong thing by you. I think sometimes we have to take on this energy, and it's an energy of we have to pack up our own thoughts, ideas and feelings and sneak away with them or move away with them, because this is what we've learned. And to me, this is the feeling I get here. It's almost like, look at me, I have all my lessons now, I understand what I went through, and I'm happy to move forward on this now. But there is a little bit of a caution here in this card, and I feel like it's, you know, make sure that you don't end up in this, you know, like caught up in things when you're not supposed to be caught up. Walk freely towards where you need to go, but take your thoughts, feelings and ideas with you. These are lessons here in his hands. He didn't need these lessons here. He's only taking forward the ones he needs. And he's walking right towards the King of Swords because he wants to work on something else. He wants to work on something to do with his future. He wants to be able to walk towards, you know, he wants to be able to work on something that is more in line with him, more in line with this love that's being offered. So he's prepared to put in the work now. This is what they're saying, Cancer, is that you are now prepared to put in this work for this new relationship. You've done the hard lines now. You've done all the emotional stuff. You've ripped off the band-aids. You've done all that stuff. You've put in a tower, and now you're ready for love. And you just need to take time out before you're ready for this, because there's still a little bit more work to do. Nice reading, Cancer. A lot of emotional stuff, a lot of emotional turmoil going through there, but it's worth it. You're moving towards something that's really beautiful. Okay, and the card we get is flowers, and it says, be generous, success and emotional fulfillment are yours. So you're definitely heading towards emotional fulfillment. Don't despair. It looks like you've done some amazing work. Thanks, Cancer.